I will always be a recovering racist.
Always a recovering racist. Is that like being a little pregnant?
I believe that every white person has racism within them.
So you believe to know the temperament and character of people on the basis of their skin color.
That's racist!
Got it.
I have so much implicit bias. It makes me laugh and cry at the same time.
Okay, well, that sounds like a horrible way to live your life. I would feel sorry for you, save for the fact that this is a choice that you are making for yourself. Candid? I love Candid. Oh wait, no, I don't. I love being candid. But anyway, talking about race and being white in order to undo implicit bias. Well, I am ready to be educated. How might I cure myself of my skin color?
There's this huge sense of guilt and shame along with that, to realize that, wow, I used to think I was this perfect little white person in a bubble that didn't do anything bad to black people, and so I was okay. And I'm actually not that person. It's a terrible realization, I think, but at the same time, like, so needed.
So, you're an imperfect white person who does terrible things to black people. It's just that you weren't previously aware of your inherent flaws and crimes for some reason. I wonder what made her see the light of her own inborn wretchedness.
They are here for a YWCA workshop called Witnessing Whiteness, where the conversation is about white privilege.
So, the Young Women's Christian Association is discussing original sin. Got it.
We've historically used people of color to teach us about race. And so what we want is for white people to kind of do their own work.
It's a kind of raw talk that has caught the attention of local educators.
Local educators. Uh-oh.
Witnessing Whiteness allows for people of color not to have to do that work, and for the accountability really to fall upon white folks. I think white folks have to be the ones who have to do the work in eliminating racism.
So the chief diversity officer at Webster University believes that only white people can be racist. Got it.
For many of the attendees, it's the first time they're talking about race and having frank conversations about their own bias.
I've been curious for quite some time about the concepts of racism.
I had been sort of lower middle class. I'd worked hard for everything I accomplished in my life. And so the idea that there was any privilege associated with being white was a totally foreign concept for me until I participated in one of these groups.
So throughout your entire life, you labored to earn everything that you attained, and you did not experience any undue advantages simply on the basis of your skin color. But now that you've been told you had it on easy street the whole time and just didn't know it, now you feel guilty. Got it.
We do mess up, right?
Right.
And we're humans. And so when we mess up, it's just a human emotion to feel that, right?
Right.
So I think sometimes we just want to find a way to not feel guilty at all.
Yeah, imagine that. Wanting to find a way to not feel guilty over something you have no control of and should not inherently mark you as a flawed person in spite of how you actually conduct yourself or treat other people. Imagine that.
I agree with that, but I also think sort of white liberal guilt doesn't necessarily lead to action. All these police shootings of black males, I'm thinking there's a reason this keeps happening, and it has to do, I think, with a lot of white people just acting like bystanders, including myself.
So let me see if I understand this. You feel guilty over actions undertaken by people you do not know and which you disagree with, simply on the basis that they share your same skin color. So I have to wonder, do you also then take personal pride in the actions undertaken by people you do not know and which you agree with on the basis that they share your same skin color? Because, personally, I take neither credit nor blame for things I have nothing to do with. What an incredibly bizarre sense of self-respect this man must possess.
I'm not sure if guilty is the right word. Maybe we're all complicit. I'm not sure what the right term is. For me, I don't personally feel directly guilty for that because wasn't the police officer, I'm not in that police department, I'm not a person in that government who could make a change locally.
Wait a second. You are setting aside feeling guilty because you had nothing to do with those police shootings, and yet you think a more appropriate term would be complicit, which says you had a direct role in those police shootings. I'm confused.
But did we interview the school board members and ask them about fair treatment of all students for discipline? Did we interview the mayor and ask them about what kind of bias training are all city staff receiving? I mean, did we do those things? That does fall on our shoulders.
Those things that does fall on your shoulders. So, only white people have the ability to push for those changes. Only white people have the power to eliminate bias in the schools. And let's say, for the sake of argument, that you did all of those things. Let's say you went to all of the lengths possible to rid the schools of bias. Somehow. Would that then cure you of being white?
The workshop has been around for almost 8 years. Local interest spiked after the Michael Brown shooting and Ferguson protests in 2014.
White folks actually do need to be more courageous about approaching the conversation of race. I think that they need to accept the fact that it's an uncomfortable conversation, and that's okay.
Yes. Being told that you are morally and spiritually inferior because of the color of your skin is indeed an uncomfortable accusation. I mean, an uncomfortable conversation.
Move into that space of discomfort, and from that discomfort, growth will come.
Yes. In order to be forgiven for your sins, you must confess your sins before God, embodied within a mortal witness. Got it.
I have awareness that there's a problem now within our society and the world and within me, and that I can't sit comfortably back anymore just ignoring the issues, and I can't pretend that things are fine just because I have a few friends of color.
Yes, the temptations of the devil are all around us. He hides behind every wary eye, every casual word. There is something wrong with the world, and we are all complicit in this corruption, for we are all sinners. And only with the grace of God and our perpetual confessions can we ever hope to achieve salvation. No. I am not going to prostrate myself before a gaggle of lonely, self-flagellating racists and someone who is apparently building a career around holding a position of ideological, racial superiority. As I said before, I take neither credit nor blame for things I have not done. And my skin color does not form any kind of mystic cords of memory between myself or anyone else with a similar melanin level. I am responsible for what I do and what I think. And what I think is, the YWCA needs to seriously consider changing its name to better reflect their new mission in the world, because they truly are the intersection between religion and social justice. As always, thank you for watching.